Hello, everyone. My name is Clint Gatewood at SAS Max. I'm the Vice President of Channels and Channel Development. Thank you for attending our Snapshot webinar featuring Pipeliner today. We're going to go ahead and get started. We are recording. As I'd mentioned before, everyone is on mute, and we will be taking questions and answers. Please type in any questions that you have in the questions box that's included within GoToWebinar, and we will make sure that we get to your questions. Today, we're going to talk just a little bit about SAS Max, who we are, what we do, just briefly. Many of you know us. That's why you're here to begin with. And then we're going to be talking about, and I'll be introducing you to Pipeliner CRM. Pipeliner will talk about why clients are buying Pipeliner, what the sales model looks like, what's in it for you, what kind of money can you make, commissions, extra incentives, kind of go through a revenue calculator on how you can make some money, and then how you can register a deal and how you can get started with Pipeliner. SAS Max, we're basically a reseller commerce platform. So we help our partners meet the right cloud-based products for your clients. We're providing a lot of the best tools and practices for SaaS companies and resellers to do business together. We have a whole commerce platform that'll track sales, can even bill for the sales, allow you to track all of the sales across multiple vendors with different and varying reseller programs, and really provide you a growth engine and allowing you to choose the products you want from our catalog over 200 and launch your own white labeled, private labeled, if you will, white labeled SaaS web store, which is a quote to cash system. So clients, we can market that. We help you market that web store, and your clients can find you, buy the products that you choose to sell from marketplace, and get paid. Opportunity as a service provider in the SaaS world, it's huge. Only about 23 to 24% of software as a service is sold to the channel today. That's starting to grow very rapidly as SaaS companies are understanding how to use a channel. They're understanding what the channel is all about and how they can drive revenue from it. For you, it allows you to drive more revenue from each client that you have. So new revenue per client helps you be more of a competitive advantage in the marketplace and finding new customers, adding on new revenue services, building new partner opportunities, and staying ahead of the game and staying relevant to your partner and your channel base. So in helping you find the right apps and helping you earn more revenues, we always work a lot with our vendors. We look at their channel programs, make sure they have a good channel program, and know how to enable you, know how to work with you. We work with them to provide our resellers and the people that are our SaaS Max solution providers. We help them get special incentives and channels from channel friendly apps. We have dedicated account managers here. John Lennick is on the call today with us, and he's a partner success manager here at SAS Max, and he works with you to help you find the right products for your specifications that you need for your clients. So you can give him a call or shoot him an email and he'll help you find the apps to meet what it is that you need. We have a lot of data per app online as well. So you can come up and you can review the catalog. You can choose like Pipeliner CRM. This is their top within the marketplace, and it'll give you a lot more information about them. And they've uploaded some really good videos and some other materials there for you to use in the sales process. And again, facilitating matchmaking, making introductions, according to your specifications of what you want for an app, we can introduce them right to the right person at the SaaS vendor. We do a lot of SaaS education through our different Crossing the SASM programs, and you can find that on our YSAS blog. And we provide a lot of PRM and affiliate networking links and marketing enablement tools. There's just a lot that we do for our resellers. And it's also free for you to join. So you can get all of these services and more just for a free registration. And today I'd like to present, without further ado, Todd Martin on the right, or on the left, I'm sorry, and John Golden on the left. And Todd, John, take it away.
Thanks, Clint. This is great. We're really happy to be here today. My name again is Todd Martin. I head up the channel programs here at Pipeliner, and it was really great when we first got introduced to SAS Max many years ago. We always thought it was a great venture what they're doing over there. So thanks again, everyone on that team. We're unbelievable things coming out of that group, and hopefully today we're going to touch on a lot of good things about a little bit about the company, a lot about our partner program, and even more importantly how to make some money with Pipeliner and with your clients. So I'm sitting down here, I'm sitting down in West Palm Beach, Florida, so that's where I headquarter out of, and I've been in the CRM business a long time. I got some gray hair to prove it, but work with quite a few vendors and help with their channel programs as well, and I really think this is the best one we've designed to date. So, John.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is John Golden. I'm the Chief Strategy and actually Chief Marketing Officer too right now with Pipeliner CRM. My background is I come from the sales consulting world. I was CEO of a company called Hathaway for a long time, 5+ years, training salespeople all over the world. And then I joined Pipeliner because I finally saw a CRM and a Salesforce automation tool that you could really embed sales best practice and sales skills within the system, and that it really had something to offer salespeople in terms of insights and empowering them to sell more. So that's what attracted me to Pipeliner, and that's why I'm here today. As Todd said, I think you're going to hopefully learn over the next little while about our strategy, our go-to-market, and why this might be a great opportunity for you to have something else in your portfolio. We're a growing company, and as we move on now, I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of background about the organization, where we come from, etc. So let's put it at a very basic level. Okay, we're providing a CRM system for salespeople that really empowers them with business insight. It brings alive data and insights and helps people sell more. And I know that's something that a lot of CRM companies will say, yes, we help salespeople sell more. But the reality is that traditional CRM systems have been built from a command and control perspective, and they've been built with how much data can I extract from a system to give to executives to run lots of fancy reports. And when those systems were built, they left the salesperson out of the equation. And that is why we are fundamentally different, in that we took a different approach and we said, how can we build an intelligent system that is easy to use, that's visual, that removes as many of the burdens as possible from the salesperson, provides them with insight, helps them sell better, and so that they adopt it, use it, and it becomes an integral part of their daily workflow. And as a result, then they work in the system, the data's in the system, and management get the reports and insights that they need. So just a little bit of history on the company. We're headquartered in Los Angeles, California. We also have an office in Vienna, Austria, where the company actually originally started. And we have offices in the UK, Sweden, Slovakia, India, the Middle East, and the Asia-Pac region. Our development, our programmers are in Slovakia. We got the brightest and the best out of the University of in Bratislava. And these are a bunch of programmers who've been working with our founder and CEO, Nicholas Kimla, for some of them over 10 to 15 years now. Nicholas was responsible for building a compliance software that's used by major banks called WorldCheck. It's a money laundering compliance software. And it was purchased by Thomson Reuters a number of years ago for, I think, $500 million. So this is the background that our company and our programmers come out of, having already programmed, one major piece of software. So how are we different, right? And I think this is really important for you guys. As I said, kind of in my preamble, is that we wanted to build a system that really reflected how the top performing salespeople operate. And one of the things is that they stay focused always on the target, right? They stay focused on the target. And we remember, I mean, I'm certainly old enough, and maybe some of you, to remember being on the sales floor, and every sales floor had a target on the wall, and each individual salesperson had targets up in their cubicles or in their home offices or whatever. I used to have, I remember those magnetic ones with a kind of, what do you call those things, like a thermometer that I would add every day so everybody could see where we were to our target. So we wanted to go back to fundamentals and get people back focused on the paradigm that they understand, which is focusing on the target, focusing on the results. We also wanted to make sure that our CRM was operational regardless of whether you had internet access or not, because sometimes, and I'm in North County, San Diego, and I spent I'm originally from Ireland, but I came here in the 90s to Silicon Valley during the dot-com bubble. So I'd lived and worked in that area for a long time. And sometimes we get caught up because we're involved with technology in this bubble, or this idea that the whole world has high speed, broadband internet access at their fingertips always. And we know that's not the case. Sometimes you're on airplanes where they don't have it available, or if they do, they have it available at like $20 per second, and it's not very good. Or you're in your car and your cell coverage isn't very good, so you can't use your hotspot. Whatever. There's lots of times when you don't have the access you like, or you go on site at a company and they're in a lockdown and security lockdown environment, right? Well, we built our system to work as a hybrid cloud, so it works online and offline. So road warriors can always use the system regardless of where they are. And then last year, or earlier this year, we released a fantastic new mobile version of the product. So now, your smartphone, you can create tasks by voice to text. You can make calls direct from the app on your smartphone, and it'll already be saved in the system. So everything is connected. So we have really focused on making this the most useful, easy to use, and insightful product on the market, and at the same time providing management with everything that they need. And again, as I said, it's online, it's offline, it's on your smartphone. It's visual, and the thing is, it's not. A lot of these other CRM systems will say, "Oh, well, we're visual too. Look at our dashboard, right?" And they'll have a few fancy dashboard. This is how Salesforce has sold forever. They'll show you their dashboard screen, right? Only visual screen in their system. We don't just have dashboards. We have visual elements across the whole system. So whether you're looking at the pipeline, whether you're looking at an account view, and you can see you've got your org chart, you've got your buying centers. We have visualized everything. Navigator that tells you every day where you should be focused and what you should do next. Visual. Performance insights for managers and even individual salespeople to see how they're performing against their targets, see how many opportunities they're creating, what's their conversion rates, etc. Visual. Everything within the system is visual. And I think then probably one of the most underrated features of it is that we have also made the administration part of it visual and easy to use, drag and drop, so that most of our customers, and this will probably amaze you, and think about this as a selling point, is most of our customers don't even need a full-time administrator. With most CRM implementations, you have to add in the cost of maybe hiring somebody or dedicating somebody full-time to looking after the CRM. You don't have to do that with Pipeliner, and therefore, again, the value proposition is huge on the savings side.
John, I'd like to add one more thing in
Yeah.
there, because I think when you talk about what kind of how does that affect a partner
Yeah.
who's selling or supporting Pipeliner? I think something to really kind of keep in mind is, which I think is one of the best parts about Pipeliner, is the development velocity that we see coming from the product. I mean,
Yes.
we're seeing new releases come, like major releases. What some other vendors probably would do in a whole year and a half, we're producing probably every 6 months or less. So why is that important? Well, when you're a partner and you're going in there, the number one thing is to be able to re-engage. And when you start seeing the new functionality coming out of a team that is, over 50 developers in Slovakia, it is an incredibly huge team, and the velocity is unbelievable. I mean, it simply blows our current partners away of what we're producing.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think one other point to mention is that Pipeliner can be as simple or as complex as you want to make it. And what our experience has been a lot of times is, and this is my experience anyway with CRM in general, but talking about it from a Pipeliner point of view, CRM is often a Trojan horse in many ways, because when you bring CRM into a company, one of the first things that you say is, okay, let's look at your sales process and let's get your sales process defined in the system. And sometimes they'll have a sales process, sometimes they won't. Sometimes they won't even know what a sales process is exactly. So it starts to create all of these fantastic opportunities for value-added services to be provided by partners. And the other part about it is that in other systems, certainly ones that I've had experience in the past, it is very difficult to make changes to the system on a regular basis. So if you want to tweak and update your sales process, it can be a bit of an overhead. We've made it so that that's the easy part, so that you can actually spend your time on analyzing what's going on with your sales team, what's going on with the sales process, or is this stage working? Is it the right? Have you allotted the right time allotment to it, etc. So you can continue to analyze it, and then you can make changes on the fly as you go. So you can really reflect the dynamic nature of the sales process, and it gives great opportunities for our partners to help their customers over an extended period of time to get their sales process right, really understand the insights that the system is giving them about their sales team, about how they're selling, and therefore our partners can have a long-term engagement and partnership with the customer as they use the system to really drive change and performance improvement across the organization.
Great points, John. Next, Clint. And so a lot of it comes like, oh, why should you bring Pipeliner to your clients, right? Now, the obvious reasons are a lot of things that John just talked about, right? But I think the other ones to kind of really consider and be able to identify with it is in the big bucket of CRM, there's some companies that focus on support solutions, and some companies that focus on marketing solution. With Pipeliner, we're a pure play sales platform, so we are laser focused on not only delivering the tools that's necessary for an individual producer to manage their own book of business in a way where they're really the entrepreneur within that organization, or we'll call it a salespreneur. I think John did a couple articles on that, which are great. But also being able to let the sales management team, which in my opinion is probably one of the most overlooked departments of a whole company, unfortunately just promoting good salespeople into that role, but really giving them the tools to really better manage all of the salespeople and the ultimate revenue that's associated with it. So we're seeing that as probably the biggest pull for partners right now, being able to go in and target the sales department, as well as helping them focus, and I think most importantly helping them create that sales process. And maybe it's not just one sales process. What we're finding from some of our mid to larger companies, they're rolling out 5, 6, 7 different processes to do that work. And I think that's once again a tremendous value add when you can go in and say, how are you doing new account acquisition? How are we doing upselling, cross-selling, and then being able to kind of pick apart the numbers. One of my clients, a partner in the UK, was saying they were in a big boardroom, and the board and the C-level were in there with the sales management team, and they said, what's going on? Where are we going to hit for the numbers? And they all wanted, where's our spreadsheets? And they said, no, we don't even use spreadsheets anymore. We only use Pipeliner. And they pulled it up, and graphically, everyone could see exactly what was going on, not only for the current month, but for the current quarter and for the whole year. And they were switching it back between different products, different regions, and then even deep diving into every deal, especially the bigger ones, in that boardroom or war room setting. Tremendous value to bring to it. So I guess that kind of brings up the next slide, which is who's the best customer for Pipeliner? Okay, and I think, there's a lot, everyone kind of has a different idea of what SMB or SME means, but I think generally we start out when we have a sales team. Okay, maybe that's 5 people, 10 people, whatever, but usually there's a manager involved. Okay, and usually that manager is your typical, kind of point 2 person, at least originally, a lot of times. But once again, I think it's either a company that is process driven, okay, or wants to be. Okay, so it's kind of like going to a manufacturing company and asking if they have an ERP system. Well, of course the answer is yes, of course. But what is that process for sales? And that's really where we accelerate in what we're providing to the customers. So yeah, do you usually lead with a head salesperson or a sales manager in your deals, or as a typical purchasers? Absolutely, but I think what we see is that that sales leader, call it VP, director, whatever you want to call it, ultimately is probably reports to the CEO, and so usually it's a combination effort of who you're actually talking to and selling. So occasionally we'll bring in other heads of departments, like head of marketing perhaps, head of support perhaps, to really make sure everything can tie in together. But that's usually your point two people. On averages, obviously the bigger the deal, sometimes the longer it takes. Okay, but we're not seeing extremely long sales cycles. Of course, the development of it and the identification of those leads and trying to determine what the process is takes time, and that's your book of business. We know that takes time, but normally once Pipeliner is introduced to a client, we're seeing turn times of just a few weeks from decisions. That quick, and this is applicable for companies that are maybe using some competitors out in the market. Nothing wrong with them, but we're seeing a lot of conversions coming right now from Microsoft CRM, from Salesforce, from Sugar, Zoho, and even some of those little tools on the market, some of those newer CRM companies. So very quick decisions are happening here. So not 6 month, 1 year long sales cycles. I think there's some instant reward that can be happen immediately, and since it is so customizable, a lot of companies will get started with a certain process, but then this is where it kicks in and really lets you kind of get in there and go through and help refine and define that process. So the next slide, just a little picture here, because I think, and there is a lot of ways that you can, yes.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to mention on this slide here, I don't mean to break your flow, but when you're looking at the type of clients and such, we use Pipeliner here internally at SASMax. And whenever you have a client that's looking for a CRM, it's really good to be specific in what they're looking for, because you can drive salespeople nuts with a CRM, but you really want a sales system. And Pipeliner is really much more of a sales system. It really thinks like a salesperson thinks, and gives them a lot of tools right out of the box that they can use and get right to market with. So it will do some of those. It does do those CRM functions and tracking all that stuff, but it's really designed as a sales system to really help salespeople be more successful. So anyone that's looking for a CRM, if, you really want to understand if they're looking for a CRM or if they're really looking for a sales system for their salespeople to be productive. I just want to throw that out there. I just think it's a key differentiator that most people don't understand.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think kind of on the next slide, it shows a small picture of a kind of one of our screens. Okay, and I kind of joke with some companies about it's the application is so visual right now, and for a good reason. Do we want that sales system? But salespeople are at companies right now. They're not accountants. They don't want to see an Excel spreadsheet. They don't want a list view. They don't want these big, ugly tools. They want something they can just check it out, look at it, and graphically understand the data. And I think that applies not only for the salesperson, but probably that sales management who probably originally started in sales. So I think when you start exploring the application on your own, I think you'll start seeing the visual portions of it. It's well more than half of the application now. Okay, where things what we call our navigator or insights, really ways to kind of drill down into leading and lagging indicators of the business model. I think that's it's really unbelievable. So. Pricing wise, a few different versions. We have 3 main versions: our starter version, our business version, and our enterprise version. We sell most of the business version, but it's good for companies. Maybe it's smaller, maybe they're just kind of starting to explore a new sales system, a new CRM. So it's a good starter version, which they can obviously upgrade to the business version. So for the bigger clients we have, those probably over 100 users, that usually falls into an enterprise bucket. Not necessarily more functionality, but just those unique needs that they need. Okay, and we all know being involved in bigger deals, especially on the sales side of the house, some of those requirements are very unique. And so the good part about Pipeliner is it's not just here it is, this is the only way it can happen, but really working with you to find the right, not only pricing structure, but those extra items that are needed that will make that client happy and bring value to them. And that's where the enterprise bucket comes into play. So it is $55 per user per month. We bill annually, and with that, we offer a very, very good compensation program. Okay, so I'll touch on this on a couple different areas. The first biggest point is on the licenses. Okay, we offer a 30% commission on the license sales. That's very, very good. The even better part of that is that annuity stream. So the reoccurring 30% year over year over year. Okay, I think it's one of, John and I did some research. I think it's one of the best programs and offerings out there in the market today. Now, that's great if you're getting your own lead and you're out there selling it and you're making commission on it. You know, it's fabulous, right? But there's some scenarios where every customer sometimes is a little bit different, and sometimes we need to do different things. Okay, and so we have a few options, and there's many more than two, but I just kind of listed two here to kind of dive into it. So in some scenarios, yeah, you want to own that sales cycle, start to finish. You're involved 100%. Great, you know, don't even need us. You know, if you need a little marketing call, we get in there and say, we do a little demo for you or with you, or answer some technical questions as more of like a sales engineer role. That's fine, but we really have the ability, if it's not the right fit, or maybe it's more of a global company and need help, we can do some engagement with you. Okay, so it's not just you selling all by yourself. We can be as involved or as uninvolved as your decision on that deal is. Okay, very important point. Okay, very, very important. And from John participating in sales calls to Nicholas Kimla, the CEO, participating, we're a sales-driven organization. The second part is the services. Okay, so it's great to sell someone Pipeliner and get them up and going, but how do we get them up and going? You know, what is the implementation program? Now, some of our partners out there, maybe that's your specialty, and that's great. More power to you. We have unbelievable trainings, specifically technical trainings, to really get you up to speed where you can customize a solution for your client, soup to nuts. Okay. Now, on the other hand, some partners don't want to do any of that work. Okay, they want to solely focus on something like the process portion of the deal and helping them. And so in this scenario, you can either do all of the technical work and implementation and trainings and everything like that, or we can even do a kind of a mixture where I had a partner the other day where he was billing at a certain rate, a very good rate, I'll give him that, with his client, and he was more than prepared to give the executive management team a complete training of Pipeliner and how to do all the reporting and slicing of the information. That's where he wanted to go. However, he did not want to be involved in some sales operation and IT training. Just didn't even want to go there. It was just a different rate. Okay, so we did it for him. Okay, so the Pipeliner Professional Services team came in and helped out. So I think it's a really great model where there's options available for you on a per customer basis to really make sure that we're having success with that customer, and that's our main goal here. Okay, our renewal rates are very, very high 90%. So we're talking only a couple percent churn overall. That is unheard of in CRM. Okay, and we're very, very proud of that, and we want to continue that flow. Next. Perfect. So how do we make that money, right? So that's always the next question. And there's a lot more slides on this on our website too, but just kind of give a general overview. We try to give you the resources that are necessary. So we do have we call it our partner resource area, and that is places to really kind of let you kind of go in there and grab different resources that you feel needed. Okay, white papers you can co-brand, videos you can voice over, logos, the whole nine yards. It's a very good resource center. And at the other side of the house, sometimes what we need to do is also help you do some custom work, custom marketing materials. And so we're more than happy to take some of our content, which John, I mean, maybe you can even kind of talk a little bit about the content that we're producing right now. It's truly unbelievable what we're doing. And any overview on that real quick?
Yeah, so one of our strategies all along has been to be the best at content marketing out there, and certainly in our space we have achieved that. We have a blog right now that's a very high performing one and has been acknowledged as such. And there's going to be some changes with that coming in the next month where you're going to see it actually move to a new level entirely. We produce videos. We do sales chats with key sales influencers. We do chats like that, value added. So we produce a lot of value added content. And when you become a partner of ours, we provide that content to you and give you the opportunity to leverage that as well in your marketing efforts. And at times, though, then our partners also participate, and we feature them in a sales chat or one of the maybe an interview, maybe a blog post or whatever. But we also try to publicize, give our partners a platform as well. So we have a very sophisticated content marketing machine, and which you can, as I said, use for marketing yourselves, so that you can start to attract prospects to you. And we also will give you a platform also to reach a wider audience yourselves.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean that sales chat that you've been doing, John, with the guest speakers is, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on the call. If you go up to that channel and check it out on YouTube, you'll see a lot of the people that you probably have seen or know around the world. So it's
Yeah, and
definitely there.
just one other thing to add, we also do in-person power breakfasts. These are small breakfast seminars. There are 50 or so people. We do them around the country, and again, we get partners involved in those. So if we're coming to your locality, we will get you involved in that as well, and we would also, highlight you as a local partner.
Yeah, we just got finished wrapping up one in Houston, one in Chicago, one in Los Angeles, and the next one's coming up a couple of weeks in Vienna. And then around the holidays we may take a little bit of a break. We might do one down in South Florida, but then the roadmap for next year, it's great involvement. I mean, I see a lot of partners actually bring their clients with them to these events and learn. Usually the guest speakers are great, or maybe even one of you would be want to be one of it. So thanks for sharing, John. There's also on our website more promotion. We have a whole section on our website that outlines all of our partners. Globally, I think we're well over, I don't know, 170 partners now globally. So it's quite a big group, but we do try to feature you online as well on our website. And then also within the application itself. And so we enable you to brand it within Pipeliner. And so a client can, not only kind of see who you are and that constant reminder, even if it's just your logo on the screen there, but also be able to kind of click through it and go to your website or auto dial you or go to right to like a support site that you have. So we're really trying to tie it in all the different methods. So speaking of tying in, with any sales CRM system, we always have different applications that we need to play nice with. We need to work with. And on our site, and this is just a small snapshot, I think there's 60 or 80 of them up there now, but it has to do with the integrations. And some of these integrations we write ourselves. So other ones, other vendors write to us, and then we also work with some third-party integration players like Zapier, SyncApps, PieSync, Cloudless, companies like that. In fact, there's a new one. It kind of in the top right, it said Google Chrome, and it says Enhanced. This one we launched yesterday, and it's right from within your Chrome browser, a way to kind of highlight information, maybe like a LinkedIn page of a contact, and then instantly kind of pop it into Pipeliner as a lead generation source. So this is growing and growing and growing, and more partners are out there writing their own integrations as well. So if that's a kind of an area where you excel at or you'd like to participate in, we have those programs available as well. So getting started and next steps, and I think we'll go to question and answers asked after that. We're at pipelinersales.com is the website. There is a 14-day trial you can get or grab of that to take a look at it. If you want to kind of go more in depth about the product, this is Todd. I'd be happy to help you with that and do that. In fact, that would be probably the best next step. And then if the YouTube channel like John talked about, I think there's maybe 80, 90 videos up there now. So most of them are smaller 2 to 5 minute ones, but a great way if you just kind of want to see someone, an overview and click through it and just learn more about it in kind of a show and tell type scenario. I think it's a fabulous resource. There you go.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, John. Thanks Todd, for being here today. So we're going to go to questions. It's a good chance for you now, if you've seen the presentation, to type in some more of your questions that you would like to ask. So go ahead and start typing those in. First question we have for you, Todd, is, and for John, is whenever you're working with your clients and people are making sales, why are clients choosing you over other systems like a Salesforce or a Zoho, or what's different about you from the rest of the marketplace or driving people to choose Pipeliner?
Yeah, let me just say, let me take that one first. I think it falls into a couple of buckets. The first one is, without a doubt, is the visual nature of the product, because, as I mentioned at the outset of this, traditional CRM and other CRM systems have been built very much on a table and grid system, very reflective of spreadsheets. And spreadsheets, as Todd mentioned, yeah, loved by managers, loved by accountants, loved by executives, but not so much by salespeople. Salespeople don't want to be data entry clerks, and they don't want to be looking at tables and lists and all that all the time. So the visual nature of the product is huge. And that's one of the things where people immediately see the difference between it and, say, a Salesforce. And in fact, we've recently seen Salesforce attempt to try and bring a couple more visual elements in that are, quite frankly, very, very similar to the ones that we've been using for the last year or so. So the visual element is key. And the second part is the onboarding, that it takes such little time to get people up to speed with the system, to learn how to use it. We basically train people in like half a day, and maybe a couple of days for an admin. But because it's so intuitive and visual and easy to use, and they love the fact that they can get up and running quickly on the system. And then I think thirdly then is the fact that we provide all this support through our partner networks, as well as like our help systems and our videos and stuff. But we're really there to support you. And that's why for us a partner channel is incredibly important, because we want to be able to broker in the best of breed and people to help our customers be as successful as possible. And when they implement a system like ours, it's going to, as it uncovers insights about their business, it's going to produce questions and things that they want to improve on and fix upon. So that's why we have a robust partner network. So I think those are three key ones. Absolutely, the visual element, number one, the ease of use, the fast onboarding, the great support and help, and partner network we bring. I don't know, Todd, if I've missed anything. If you want to add anything to that?
No, I think you hit it spot on. I think that the only other element is, besides maybe the three big boys, there's a lot of other players in the market, and they're very small companies and very new. It's not Pipeliner. Okay, Pipeliner, we're well over 800 multi-user customers. Some customers well over 500 users. And a dedicated team where you see that. I'll go back to that velocity of that development. It's incredibly powerful, representing a product that's coming out with new things this often and frequently. So
cool, great. And then what's the process? So if I have a customer that's very interested, maybe it'll take a little bit longer in the sales process and stuff. Is there like a registration piece? How do I let you know I'm working with a customer? Because a lot of times, customers will go direct to the SaaS vendor and just sign up online instead of going around me. So is there any type of registration process or an affiliate tracking code I can use to protect my—
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So we got a couple different methods based upon where your client, the partner's client, is in that sales cycle, and who you're talking to, right? So if it's someone like, yeah, I want to try it now, yeah, of course we have unique referral codes. You can either give it out or you can do it for one of your clients. It'll automatically send some email notifications right to the partner saying, hey, someone just signed up, here you go. It also then puts it into our ERP system, which our partners have access to, where it shows all of the leads, and then another bucket for all of the revenue that comes from those leads. One thing that's very unique as well is the opportunity to kind kind of be part of an infrastructure that's set up as well. So actually having partners go into Pipeliner's pipeline and actually add leads there and actually go through a process that has been very successful, tried and true and proven, to kind of guide the sale along. And then we all know what's happening, and we're seeing that more and more frequently. So that's the core thing. If you have a client that's not ready for a demo, but it's just want to register a lead, we have a complete system established for that as well. So or it really protects your leads. And I think that's critical. And then we let you decide, the partner, if and when it's applicable or you need Pipeliner's involvement. And it's the partner's call, not our call. I think that shows the maturity of the team here and what we've been doing.
Okay, cool. So you're providing a Pipeliner instance for Pipeliner sales from Pipeliner resellers to use.
Triple P, right?
That's right, triple P, right there. You know, prior proper planning, right? Oh no thing. Yeah, very cool. So you have a monthly pricing now. Are you billing monthly or do you bill by the year? Are you doing contracts with the clients? How's that set up?
Yeah, we bill annually. We usually the first order establishes an annual renewal date, and then any future order or licenses that are done are paid, or I'm sorry, the order would be prorated to that annual renewal date. And from a compensation, from a partner perspective, which is really nice, is as soon as we get paid for those licenses and or services, we pay you. Okay, so if it's a brand new order, boom, it's paid. What's that?
I don't have to wait 3 months to get paid.
No, 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 no. I think our typical turn time from invoicing is it's maybe 5 days, maybe 6 days. It's a very short turn. So and it's been working out really well on initial orders, upsell orders, like when people add licenses, as well as those renewal orders that come through. So.
Okay, great. Um, and what's involved? So if I have clients that are pretty heavily entrenched in another CRM system, is there some type of migration path that you can help me with, or is it easy to migrate to Pipeliner?
It is. It is. So could a customer do it on their own through an export of their current system and then import it into Pipeliner? Absolutely. Can a partner help do that? Absolutely. There's also some good tools. One of our partners, our integration partners, called DBX, down in San Diego, where both of you are, and they actually wrote something called DBX for Pipeliner, and it is an unbelievable kind of data manipulation tool where we're seeing companies that maybe have been using something like Salesforce or Dynamics or Goldmine or whatever it is, be able to bring in all that those contacts, those accounts, those opportunities, all those activities, notes, history, and bring all of that over into Pipeliner. And it's a fairly seamless process. It really is. So great tools and great support here to help you do that as well.
Great, fantastic. I'll send other questions. I'll go ahead and I'll send them over to Todd and John for answering, and we'll get back to those of you that may have other questions. So you can still type those in. I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping up here. We're a little over our time, which is fine. Some really great questions. So we'll finish up today. I want to remind you of some other snapshots and events that we have coming up as SaaSmax. If you're in the Irvine, LA, Orange County area, or even San Diego area, it's not that far to come up to, is our SaaSmax Cybersecurity Channel Roadshow on 11/17. We have some great speakers lined up, some great security experts. So you can come to our SaaSmax Cybersecurity Channel Roadshow, have a couple beers and some food, and talk with some good security experts and get some really good material. So don't forget, to register for that and contact us if you're interested. It's also on our website. We have Xlenza, a workforce management software as a service, and we have that snapshot on 12/1. Great for managing your workforce and for managers. And we also have CompTIA annual State of the SaaS channel. We have that webinar coming up. It'll be very, very exciting. CompTIA, if you're not familiar with them, most of you, if you're a solution provider, you know who CompTIA is. But CompTIA is a trade organization for IT service providers and other types of service providers, as well as for a lot of the companies that sell through the channel. It's a great educational organization, and we'll be hosting their annual State of the SaaS channel on 12/14. So get registered for that too. You're going to have some great information from them that they've collected over the years. Lastly, don't leave any money on the table. Come and join SASMax. Talk with us. Let us understand your business. We'd like to get to know your business. Like to get to know what your strategic goals and objectives are, and how we can help you extend your line cards to provide you different white labeled commerce platform and websites that we do to help you extend your sales. We help with the marketing with that. We're doing a blog for you on that to help generate additional leads and more visibility of your company. So give us a call. We'll be in touch with you as well. And I want to thank everyone again. John, Todd, thank you for joining us today. And we'll have a recording up for everyone. And have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Bye now. Take care.